So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. To return, here's Chris Conley. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out now joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Second half starts with a run by Jamal Charles. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and the Chiefs are going to have a first down.
And that's a good sign right there as we start the third quarter, because in the first half, not much space to run the football. And as we go into the half, we often think to ourselves, all right, what's the adjustment? What do they have to do? You know what a lot of the adjustments are? No adjustments. You know the game plan, been working on it all week. Maybe a little tweak here or there, a little bit better blocking, and now you're establishing the running game.
On first down, it's Charles again. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
So it'll be first down here after the run. On 1st and 10, Smith. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Receivers work all the time on making sure they catch the ball, haul it into their bodies before they turn and run. A little bit of loss of focus on that play.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Encroachment, defense. Still 3rd down.
Now Smith. the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This from 54 yards away. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So a favorable bounce that time, to say the least, and he's able to convert the field goal there from long distance.
Yeah, the guys behind the end zone didn't need to hike the net up for this one. That thing was a dying quail, but he finds a way to boink it off the crossbar and make it drop through.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Try to fire up the running game with C.J. Anderson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. Time starting to run out here in the 4th. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory.
Here we go, here we go.
On second down, here's Sanchez. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Virgil Green is tied in, the intended receiver. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. So this offense really needs to make something happen here late in the 4th with the football. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Sanchez now to throw. Finding time. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Allen Bailey. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense. 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returnable for Thomas. Look at the spin.
Balance.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll start the drive with Jamal Charles. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. Again, it's Charles. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. Charles, the low setback. And he'll get it up the middle. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
They come up in an offset eye. A first down carry here for Charles. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Second down, 9 yards to go.
Strong right.
They'll come out in the pistol. And the hard count got the defense there. Encroachment and the 5-yard penalty.
Encroachment, defense. Still second down.
And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Second down and 4.
Two times, two times. Three down.
Following the penalty, here's Charles. And he'll go down at the 28. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. Charles, the lone setback. And he'll get it up the middle. And he's brought down. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think of run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Down to a knee, here goes Smith, and that should all but do it. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Chiefs victorious here as we say so long from Arrowhead.